Bam! The markets get rocked. The Dow down nearly 400 points. My name's D7 here at Grok Trade, and this is the weekend edition. This video is good through September 11th, 2016, and I want to take this time to say all of us here at Grok Trade, we tilt our hats to all those who lost their lives on 9/11, 2001, when we were attacked by Islamic extremists. All right, let's get after it. We have a lot to get at. We have a ton to go over, and this is a big time warning to everybody out there. Warning, warning, warning. Before I do, you have got to go to Grok Trade. Let me get to the right screen. Main screen, okay? We just added this. This is brand new. Go down to the bottom. Buy now. Learn. Typo, of course. I just did this quickly. Hold on. Let me hit refresh. Is that still? Yeah, I need to typo. I just put this in. Hedging course. It's a hedging course that will teach you how to protect your capital in your 401ks, your IRAs, your cash accounts, how to not lose money if the markets start to tank. And we have a very real chance of that happening. Go to the bottom of the page, your Grok Trade, bottom of the page, get this course, click on it. You can buy it immediately or learn more by clicking there, or at the top main navigation, click on hedging to learn more about it. Get this. I'm telling you that this is timely. You need it now. All right. We're here in the markets. We take a nose dive in the markets. Russell's down 3%, just huge 2% dives across the market, nearly at 30% pop. In the VIX, I'm showing a 40% pop. I'm showing a 40% spike in fear in one day, Friday. Interesting. Now, we're going to be looking at the markets. I'm going to look at the spiders first. We're going to look at the daily, weekly, and monthly on each of these. Look at this. Bam! Markets come crashing down. We talked about this big bullish pennant. I said this pennant could go either direction, up or down. However, it has a better chance of going higher. However, it did go down on huge volume. When you start breaking like the 50 simple day moving averages across the board on all major indices, when you do that, you have institutional selling coming in. Those are algorithms already built in. I used to be an institutional trader myself. I'm telling you right now, you had a ton of institutions selling into Friday. And if I look here, we below the 20-day, the 50-day moving average, huge spike on volume. This looks very, very bearish here in the markets. If I go, I don't want to do this. I'm going to go back to spiders. I want to go to the weekly chart on the spiders. Weekly chart, we have a rising wedge on the weekly chart on the S&P 500. See this rising wedge with a bearish divergence here on the MACD, and we drop, but we're at major support. See this? Support, support, support. Furthermore, we come across here. This was an area of resistance. That area of resistance could act as support, and we have the rising 20-week moving average coming up as support. We have a ton of support here, but I do fully expect this to break down and through because we're dropping. You can see these red candlesticks on increased volume. So look for that to be the power that we need to break down and for the markets to start really giving back a lot of the gains it's made in the last 6-7 years now here in this bull run that we've been in. And if we go to the monthly chart, let's see what the monthly is showing us on the S&P 500. You'll notice I put a sell signal here. I'm a little early on that because the month's only 10 days in. I mean, get this. We're only 10 days in, and September's already the worst month that we've had all year long. Just incredible. So here on the monthly chart, we hit our head of resistance. We're dropping. I do have a sell signal there. Again, I could be a little early. And coming down, we could have some support areas. I'm going to get rid of these because those have been broken. We have some moving averages here and support here. But if we were to make this drop on a monthly scale, it's going to be a nasty little drop for us to deal with. Dow, we're going to go to the Dow, and I want to show you the daily chart. Bam! On the, oops, get to the Dow. Bam! Here on the Dow. Sell signal. We're down, rising 100-day moving average acting as support. And sure enough, this area of resistance coming across is acting as support also. We do have major support coming up with this trend line. But look at the massive volume coming in. That could be the power we need to just to crack through all that support level. Again, go to Grok Trade. Get that hedging course. You need it now. You cannot be in the markets without being hedged, because if the markets start to fall out of bed and start to crash, after all, we do have a head and shoulders. Look at this, shoulder, head and shoulder. Perfect neckline snapped. We're in dire trouble right now. If the markets drop, you do not want to give back all your earnings. You have got to take the hedging course to get yourself protected. As a matter of fact, I even put a discount there. It's $97 with the discount. If you put in help me in the box, you'll see that on there, help me. It's going to knock off $28. It's only $69. $69 to get that, and it's just for this weekend because of what's going on. But look at this big drop, and I'm going to go here to the weekly chart on the diamonds. The weekly chart, again, rising wedge. No, diamonds, come on, let's update this. We have the rising wedge, but the thing that's different here, and I need to put a sell signal here, because the thing that's different here on the weekly is it crossed down. It broke a support level. So it did break a support level. We have a 20-week moving average acting as support. But check this out. I had this arrow in some time ago, fully expecting that to drop. Sure enough, it has. I'm going to take that off because it is now a full-fledged sell signal, as far as I'm concerned, here on the diamonds. And if I go back, and I'm going to look at the, this is the, I'm going to look at the diamonds here on the monthly chart. Resistance, I added this trend line, added a sell signal because we have a lower high, a lower low, closing at the low. But again, this is just the monthly. I might be a little early to this, but we have a lot of downside opportunity potential here, and we also have a big bearish divergence here on the MACD. All right, let's go now to the Qs. This is the spiders. Now, Mark was nice enough, Meerkat was nice enough to do the video for me on Thursday because I was out at the PGA BMW tournament, and I saw that we had our pivot candle there. I had a sell signal there, but you guys, I didn't do the video. You weren't there to see it. So there's my sell signal, and sure enough, a lot of follow through here, and we crashed down through the 50-day moving average, a daily chart on huge volume, daily chart on the NASDAQ in a lot of trouble. On the NASDAQ weekly chart, sell signal right here at resistance. I can now add another trend line from here to there. There was that weakness. Remember I said the weakness, we weren't getting up there to hitting that trend line or closing at it. So look for this thing to get weak, and it could. And boom, there it is. Heading southbound. That is the weekly chart. If I look at the monthly chart, I do have a sell signal, but I could be a little early. We have support here. This is resistance and support. We're at that support, but it is a rising wedge with a big, nasty bearish divergence. So I fully expect there to be a lot of downside potential here in the market. Small caps. Now, small caps is important, gang. The reason we want to look at small caps is because that can lead the charge. So can the NASDAQ. So rewatch that NASDAQ. But it can lead the charge of what's going on. We had this rising wedge, pinchy, and then Friday, bam, sell down. Now, that's the only index that's still above the 50-day moving average, but huge sell volume here. Institutions selling into all this weakness, and I'm fully expecting to have more profit taking out there. That could be bad news for the bulls, but we're going to make a ton of money on the bear side. Remember, I started adding my shorts up here at the top. I've been telling you guys that. I have been short in the market on this top area. Now, I'm a professional. I've been doing this 18 years. I do not expect people to be timing the market like I do. You should definitely And especially if you're dealing with a set amount of money or capital that you're trading and you cannot lose it, you need to wait for there to be confirmation. So now we have a breakdown, we have confirmation on the daily charts, weekly charts, many of the weekly charts, and we're starting to on the monthly charts. So everything's starting to line up. The stars are starting to line up here. But a lot of downside potential here if we break the 50-day moving average, other resistance levels or support levels to contend with if we do get the drop. But look at this. We had a nice rally here with price action, bearish divergence here on the oscillator. It's the MACD centered oscillator. And then we get this big drop. And bad news. If you go to the weekly chart, I called a sell signal here on the weekly because we have this rising wedge, and top of the rising wedge we got a break. It broke support, so support broken. That is a sell. I'm fully expecting that to continue to drop. In the monthly chart on the Russells, I didn't put a sell signal here because we still have a higher high and a higher low. I'm not comfortable putting a sell signal on that yet. But this is a reversal pattern, not the strongest of reversal patterns, but I do expect this to drop. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and put in my what I expect, and that's my little blue arrow. I do expect that to drop, but proof be in the pudding to see if that happens. So I'm going to get into banks. I'm going to get crude oil and gold and silver again. Go to Grok Trade, do the mentoring, figure out when is a good time for you to get mentored. Every successful trader has had a mentor, bottom line. But down here at the bottom, get the hedging course. Click on hedging. I don't want you to forget about that because, man, you'll do yourself a huge disservice right now in the markets. I'm going to go to the banks. Banks can lead the charge. What's interesting on the banks on the daily, it really hasn't fallen out of bed. It's still holding its own. The banks are still fairly strong on the daily chart. If you look here on the weekly chart, we broke a resistance. I fully expect it to drop. We have a dark cloud cover reversal pattern, but we have support here. I expect it. I cannot put a sell on it yet. So the banks are not at all in line with what we're seeing in the indexes. And if I go to the monthly on the banks, we popped up over resistance area. This blue line, we popped up above it. We're at resistance coming across right there. We're at resistance, but we have a higher high, higher low, and we're still above this trend line. So I'm not ready to call it a sell yet. I just can't do it the weekly or the monthly chart for a sell. So the banks are fairly strong. Now what I want to do is go to the financials. This is the ETF Financials. Now this, I think, tells a more interesting story. ETF, we broke resistance, we come up, and then we immediately break down that on support. We're down below the 20-day moving average, and we're dropping on some nice volume here. You can see the volume really picked up on Thursday, revving up the engines for this drop. So it gave us a tell. It gave us, it told us that it was something was getting ready to happen the next day. Sure enough, bam, to the downside, breaking a lot of support, and at closing at the day's low. Very, very powerful. And I want to go here to the weekly chart, financials. Weekly charts, I do have a sell here. We have low, high, higher low. We have a rising wedge, and here I'm thinking that we're going to drop. And if we drop and then break this support line, woe to the markets. It will be a bloodbath out there. But it could drop, hit support, and then bounce. But remember, this is a weekly chart, so several weeks could be bearish here, and that's when things could start to tell the tale when it comes to this area of support. And I want to look at the monthly chart on financials. Up, and I have a buy signal on this one. I got to remain with my buy because we have a higher high, higher low. We have a bearish, I'm going to call it a thrusting pattern. It might be a dark cloud cover, but I'm not 100% sure. It could relax here a little bit, but as long as it can stay above this trend line, it's still a buy. It's not bearish, not yet. But the daily is definitely bearish. The weekly is bearish. But the monthly just not there quite yet. U.S. dollar. I'm going to look at just a couple of charts here. Here's the daily chart in the U.S. dollar. Huge pinch. We're pinching. Look for a big time move to the upside or downside. We have more resistance to the upside because of the moving averages. But and then once it breaks out, it should pierce these major trend lines, this one or this one, fairly quickly. If it does pop to the upside, that will put pressure on the U.S. stocks. If it goes down, that should help the U.S. stocks. But watch the U.S. dollar. It is pinching big time. I like to go to the weekly chart to see if we have anything it will show us. And what it shows us is we're in a huge symmetrical triangle, and we're just going sideways, caught up in the moving averages. So it's not telling us anything at this moment. Crude oil, I want to first go to the daily chart on crude oil. Huge symmetrical triangle. Now we're pinching all the moving averages, coiling together. Watch crude oil. We will see a significant run to the upside or downside. Crude oil will do a major pop. At this moment, it's acting more bullish than it is bearish. So I'm leaning more. I'm saying 65% chance this is going to break out to the upside opposed to the downside, but I cannot risk taking that gamble until I see confirmation. If I look at the weekly chart on oil, we had this falling wedge. We broke out, little pullback. I fully expect it to go higher. I expect to go higher. I cannot put a buy signal on this one yet, a second one at least. I have one buy signal. I continue to be a buyer on the weekly time frame. I cannot add another one until we get a pop, and it shows that pop to the upside. And if I look at the monthly chart here, I have a sell signal on the monthly, and I need to stay true to my monthly sell here. So you see there's a lot of buy signal, sell signal conflicts taking place on all different time frames. So depending on if you're a long time investor or a shorter time trader within a few weeks, it will depend on which one of these calls will matter to you most. And before I get into gold and silver, in the VIX, something that I forgot to share with you guys. At Grok Trade, if you click on the Stock Picks VE newsletter, we are the only company out there that I know of that gives you not just a bull list to buy, but a bear list to sell. That's right, we give you two lists. The bear list is comprised of those fundamentally weak companies, but they're overinflated. They're all on bubbles. They're overvalued. We're waiting for the bubble to pop. Those are the best ones for great opportunity, for huge downside potential. That is the Stock Picks. The V newsletter comes out each weekend. If you want this weekend's picks, get on there now. Use this code, give you 2 weeks completely free. Now we're going to get to gold and silver. Gold. Let's go to the daily chart first on gold. And look at this. Another symmetrical triangle. I have a sell signal here. I had a buy here, up. Now a sell. It's going to keep doing that, chopping around. Watch for gold to either break out big time to the upside or downside. Another opportunity for a huge to make good money going long or going short gold, because I love it when these symmetrical triangles pinch because they give you explosive patterns. Love it. The weekly chart here on gold, up, a little bull flag. Fully expect gold to go higher here on the week. And if I look on gold monthly, up, just chopping around. It's going in a bullish direction overall. And silver, let's take a look at silver daily. We said up. I on Thursday said sell. Friday was a huge sell, but I'm getting ready to go bullish on this again because it should rally off of support. It's pinching. It's in the apex like crude oil. It's in the apex like the U.S. dollar. It's in the apex like gold. We're in the apex, guys, of these huge, great symmetrical triangles. Look for a big pop to the upside, a big drop to the downside. Look for a massive opportunity to make some great money. It is, in fact, coming. If you look at the weekly chart here, I have a buy signal a couple weeks ago. I continue with my buy signal. I don't need this anymore because I have a buy signal. I'm fully expecting this bull flag to get bullish and to rally higher. And if I look at the monthly chart here, higher, little weakness, but we're in the uptrend. So silver and gold. Spread this video. But let me show you something on the VIX. The VIX, if I go to the VIX, this is the ETF that I'm going to go to. This is the ETF on the VIX, and that's a fear indicator. Fear indicator. If you look at this, look at this. Down, 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 boom, to the upside. Fear spiking, spiking, spiking. So fear is definitely a go. Look for a lot more upside potential here. A lot of resistance areas snapped. And if I go to the weekly chart, this is the weekly chart. We have this little falling wedge, and there's our first little bleep. Boop, and I say buy on the fear. Buy fear on the weekly because it's just in the beginning points. Look how much volume rolled in. I mean, this volume is a lot of volume at an extreme low. It's called capitulation. Great time to be looking to buy or sell at those capitulation points. So there's an opportunity there. Look for that. And if you go to the monthly chart, I cannot say buy yet because we're just getting started. This, in fact, could be the low, guys, on the VIX, meaning that fear should only go higher going into months ahead. So I threw a lot at you. I don't expect you to know all this or to completely understand it all. Rewatch it a second time. I promise you'll comprehend more. And what you want to do is you need to learn. I highly recommend go to Grok Trade, click on Trading Mentor, go there, watch the videos. I have a ton of people that to learn more about our mentorship, watch the videos. But what I recommend that you do is come to our webinar. We got a couple of them coming up this week. And you can click here or pick one of the dates that work for you and get signed up for just an informative thing. So we give you a lot of information. I want you to share this video. There's a big time warning here. Everybody needs to hear about it. Please share it. Please like it. Leave a comment. Love you guys. We'll catch you later.